Hi everyone, it's Raleigh, and today I'm planning my Hobonichi Cousin for the week of January the 1st. And New Year is here, brand new Hobonichi Cousin. Last year was my first year using it, and I really enjoyed it. It just fit really well for me, worked really well for me. So I'm using it again along with stickers from Coffee Monster Co. Let me just get these down here. Okay, so I just went ahead and put the days of the week and the numbers down. Yeah, so I'm using Coffee Monster Co. again, and for this week I'm using I got the monthly kits, and so that's what I'm using for this. It's the January. It's really nice with sort of green and white and gray, really pretty. I did actually do the setup for the month, but it's pretty minimal, and I didn't record it, and I will show it in a video that's upcoming. Just putting a little day off there. And my plan had been last week, after kind of Christmas itself was over, I had a couple of days that was intended to do kind of more setup in here, more with the monthly, kind of figuring out how I wanted to use some of the other sections. But that didn't happen, which is okay. I just needed a couple days to decompress, and I have a cat who's not doing well, so I was really just focused on spending time with her too. And I really enjoy planning in this and have some ideas about how I want to use this, but I didn't want to rush myself. And I'm actually on vacation this week as well. So I thought, even though originally I kind of hoped to have, this, showing a little bit more, it will just be kind of setting up my usual weekly, but then hopefully this week, that's one of the things I want to do. I anticipate having some time, so hopefully that'll work out. And okay, so I've got my 2 boxes for New Year's Day for vacation. And what? Oh yeah, I'll put the little balloons for New Year's. Oh, and I want to pick out a color for an accent color for highlighting. I don't know, the green or maybe just the gray for the couple things I have. Yeah, so I'm going to be this week spending a little time thinking about how I want to use kind of the other sections, also different ways to use the weekly. I really like this weekly, but I think there might be some opportunities to set it up a little bit differently. Maybe have like a whole section of things I want to track, just kind of break things up in a bit of a different way. Normally I just have kind of lists under different areas, kind of like I'll do today, but I just want to see if there's a way to mix it up a little, because I work generally from home as well, and even when I don't, like my days are pretty consistent, so I don't need the hours during the day to note things. So I think I can use kind of a bigger section of the page, and maybe just instead of having headers with columns, I can maybe try some different things. So that's one of, pardon me, that's one of the things I've kind of been mapping out. Just gonna put a note about brunch tomorrow. And yeah, so those are things that I anticipated doing last week, didn't, so they'll happen this week, as well as my traveler's notebook. So this year I'm using the Cousin as my main, and then as kind of the side ones, I'm using a series of traveler's notebooks. And I think that was my last video or the one before, I kind of showed, I did a little bit of setup in this. I'd also done I think showed the traveler's notebooks I'm going to be using, so I'll probably even do a separate video on those. But one of the things I've been using them for is to kind of map out how else I'm going to use this year, but also kind of some of the details about kind of what I want to get done. Last year, what I did was I kind of had 3 main areas I wanted to focus on: home, finance, and wellness, which I think I'm going to do this year as well, but I haven't had a chance to really map out what those might look like. And yeah, so like I said, I didn't want to rush it, so hopefully I'll get to those this week. So ideally next week I'll have my weekly plan, but I'll be able to show you what I'm doing with some of the other sections. And then I'll likely do another video about the traveler's notebooks, which I love traveler's notebooks. I think that they're fantastic. And so I am going to continue to use them this year, basically for everything other than this kind of stuff. Let me put this down. This will be, I think I'm going to use these as the headers for my different lists. Yeah, so I've got a traveler's notebook. I do have one like for a monthly. And then I have a couple others that I'm using, and I'll show you what those are. But basically, as I'm trying to work things out, make lists of stuff, and to take with me on the go. So I'm using this and them. So this week I'll kind of fine tune all those pieces and hopefully share them with you soon. I'm just debating putting a line, but I don't think so. I think maybe just the sticker will be okay. Yeah, because I think I am just going to use one column like I normally do, so I don't need that. All right, so colors. Okay, let me just, oh yeah, this is going to be for home. Yeah, we'll start with that because that is one of the things I'm going to be focusing on most this week. My planning stuff, and then also a few areas in my home that I really want to tackle. I've kind of identified kind of areas that I use most commonly, and that them being disorganized kind of low-key bugs me a lot every day. So I'm going to focus on a couple of those this week as well. And I think, how am I going to do these? I think I might use these squares. Let's see how this looks. Okay, I did put the squares down, but I wasn't liking the green, so I decided just to put the dots down there instead. All right, so that's one section. Okay, and then I think what I'm going to do is just kind of stagger these across. And this is what I kind of settled into doing that generally does work for me. But yeah, like I said, I think there's maybe a different way to set things up that I'll look at for next week. And yeah, it's kind of funny. You have all these. I was so excited to get my planners, and I kind of had everything in, I think, November, late November, early December. But then when it came into the weeks closer to the end of the year when I was going to do it, I just didn't have an opportunity, which, like I said, is okay. Now I'm fortunate that I'm off this week as well, so I'll have an opportunity to continue to work on this stuff. And I'll put this one up here. And one of the other reasons I did kind of want to hold off a bit was because I wanted to watch some more videos. I have a bunch of them kind of marked for watch for later with some of my favorite kind of creators are in this area. And so, yeah, this week I want to watch a little bit of that before I kind of finalize, especially with the cousin, how I'm going to use the different sections. The traveler's notebooks are kind of more flexible by nature, and I kind of know what I want to use them, but yeah, so I'm definitely going to be watching. So Becky, pardon me, whoops, I did it again. If any of you have a favorite creator who uses the cousin and uses any of the sections in kind of an interesting way, please, I'd appreciate if you leave a comment and let me know. All right, so I've got my headers. I've got the list box, which that's another thing I really do like, is having that box on for the weekend where I can then sort of just as the week goes on, tag in a few things that I think I have to get done that haven't gotten addressed yet. All right, so I think this is looking pretty good. I really like the greens in this. It's really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just start filling this in. Here it is all filled in. There's more things on there than usual, although I am on vacation this week, so I've given myself a few more options. I don't anticipate all these things will get done by any means. I'll be focusing on the home and a lot of the planning stuff, I think. And yeah, I wanted a little pop of color, so I'm just going to put this down, and I'm going to put a little note about New Year. Brain, start working. There we go. Okay. And I think the only other thing I want to do is I did get there were some stickers that were like coordinating little deco pieces for these monthly kits. There we go, welcome 2024. That I do want to sprinkle around here too, since I don't think there'll be a ton of stuff up top later. I do have a couple family and friends I'm going to want to be seeing. And then, all the activities below if I can get to them. But I think I want to sprinkle a few of these. And yeah, I really am glad I like this for January, especially this first week, because I just find this kind of color palette and design very calming and relaxing. So we'll get a couple of these down. Go. And yeah, we'll get a couple more. And this is usually what I do. When I get the monthly kits, I usually use it for kind of setting up the month, and then I use the other pieces for usually the first week of the month. And I think this is a really nice one to start with. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.